I want to talk to you about today's hot news. New York Post front page says it all. Hunter got Joe on the phone to impress clients. The paper reports Hunter Biden would dial the then vice president on speakerphone into meetings with his overseas business partners. This is all according to testimony expected before Congress this week from Devon Archer, the first son's former best friend. Josh, we've heard repeated denials from the president about any involvement in Hunter's business dealings. But there has been a shift in the White House's language in recent days, with Karine Jean-Pierre saying the president was never in business with his son. Have a listen.
Chairman James Comer today says that the Oversight Committee, has evidence that the president in the past communicated directly with foreign business associates of his son Hunter Biden many times. Curious if the White House and the president still stand behind his comment that he's never been involved and has never even spoken to his son about his business.
So I've been asked this question a million times. The answer is not going to change. The answer remains the same. The president was never in business with his son. I just don't have anything else to add.
Never been in business is quite different from never ever spoken to my son about his business dealings. Are they just shifting the goalposts here?
Yeah, it sounds like someone spoke with a lawyer about how to craft some very carefully worded lawyerly language to give some plausible deniability, right? I mean, look, I'm sure Karine Jean-Pierre has gotten her talking points from someone there in the White House counsel's office, because you're right. I mean, not in business with, in business with is, is not exactly a term of art that can mean many different things. But by saying that is not in business with his crack addict son Hunter, Karine Jean-Pierre is definitely not necessarily denying the fact that Hunter Biden would ask Joe Biden to get onto a phone call with him or things like that. I mean, we all saw these text messages that were revealed recently with Hunter Biden, sending these threats to these Chinese Communist Party operatives, saying like, "You will deliver this," or the big guy, who, parentheses, by the way, is standing or sitting right next to me. I mean, Joe Biden has not denied that. I mean, just earlier today here in the U.S., I saw an interview, and the reporter asked Joe Biden about that very exchange, this text exchange between Hunter and the Chinese Communist Party operative. And Joe Biden's response is just to laugh and kind of do this and kind of shake his hand and say, "Get out of here." I mean, they're trying to do the, "What are you, silly for even asking the question?" kind of thing. It's pure hubris. It's pure condescension. But, what ideally I would like to see is, some sort of under oath situation. And, look, the U.S. Congress has the subpoena power. They could easily subpoena Hunter Biden to get up there. And at that point, you're going to put someone under risk of possible perjury. This famously happened to Bill Clinton back in the 1990s. He perjured himself. So that is where I would like for this to go. But it's very, very important that we not lose the forest for the trees. This is not necessarily just about the corruption and venality of the Biden crime family. It's really about, ultimately, from my perspective, it's ultimately about America's national security. Because when it comes to Ukraine, a country that the Bidens are infamously entangled in, this is a country, obviously, that the U.S. is basically funding, no questions asked, against the largest nuclear arsenal in the world, Russia. So if a country that has taken the U.S. ever closer to the brink of potential nuclear catastrophe is a country that happens to implicate the direct financial interests of the president and his son, that is something that not just Republicans, but every American needs to know that. So yes, it's about the deep corruption of Hunter and Joe Biden, but the particular countries where their corruption got to, especially Ukraine and China, of course, in particular, these are crucial countries from an American national interest perspective, and we cannot let it go for that reason alone.